Hello, everyone. Sarah here with sarahpacaro.com. I wanted to talk about one of the motivators for change today, and that is shame. And shame is an awful, notice the eye roll. Shame is an awful motivator for change. But so many of us use shame as a motivator, as an inspirator for change. When we get to a place within our lives that we feel overwhelmed by shame, that we feel overburdened by shame, that we feel drowning in shame, that's when we quote unquote wake up and decide, I am ready to change. I don't want to feel the shame anymore. But shame is a horrible motivator for change. But too many of us, sadly, wait until we get to that point to say, you know what, I want to change. And I want to change because I no longer want to feel this shame. But then there we are in the reality and the presence and our existence as we know it, living with, feeling with, trying to swim and navigate our way through the thickness and the darkness of that shame. Shame is dense. Shame's not light and fluffy like an airy cake. It's thick, it's dense, it's heavy. It's like you take one bite and you're done. Like you want to spit it out. It's funny. I have a beautiful, gorgeous daughter who I absolutely love with all my heart. And she is shameless when it comes to expressing her connection with things that she likes and doesn't. And we all have this sense of purity in our hearts and in our souls as children. We all have this element, this quality where we're unafraid to speak up and to say what it is that we're thinking and what we're feeling and what we're experiencing. And it becomes later when we experience shameful situations where we change the direction that we're going and the expression through the direction. And then we start to hold it in, we start to stuff it in, we start to bottle it up because we've experienced shame. And our mind is like, no, 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 don't do that. Don't go there again. You want to avoid that pain from the shame. So go this way instead. And so then we navigate through life. And then before we know it, we feel like we're totally off course. And then we get into a place of experiencing so much shame and we're like, I want to change now. I want to change. Maybe it's shame in our finances and that we're massively in debt, or shame in the type of relationships that we've chosen, that we've allowed. We found ourselves in toxic, manipulative, abusive, emotionally unavailable, neglectful, narcissistic relationships. And we're like, I experienced so much shame. And initially, we want to blame the other thing. We want to blame, that if things are so expensive when we find ourselves in debt, we want to blame our job that we don't get paid enough, or that your boss is an a-hole and they don't see your worth and your value and they're not giving you the promotion or the raise. They gave it to someone else and you've been passed over. And then there's this identity story of, I always get passed over. I must not be good enough. I must not be qualified enough. I must not be in the blank enough. That's deeply rooted in emotional lack. And then we take on that identity, and then we are connected with the identity, energy, and frequency of shame. But shame is a horrible motivator for change, but we get stuck there, we get stopped there. And then in that place, we desire to change because we really want to go down another path. We want to navigate through another path, go another direction, take a different course. But then we often end up on the same path, but we will go get a different job. One with another asshole boss. And then we're like, oh, I was getting paid more, but now the economy sucks. And so it's the economy's fault. And I had to have these shoes or this or that to make myself feel better. And now I'm in more debt, and it's the debt's fault. It's the credit card company's fault because interest rates are too high, and it's this and it's that. And we're blaming everything else instead of accepting our place in it, our responsibility in it, and the stories that we're telling ourselves that are based on the beliefs that we have about ourselves through the experiences that we've had. And it's often not until we get to that place of deeply rooted shame that we literally feel like we're dying, like it's strangling us, it's suffocating us, like it's got its hands and they're choking around us, and we're like, no, I need to breathe, I want to live, and I know that living is breathing and breathing is freeing. How do I get out? How do I get my head above water? How do I not feel so stuck in the heaviness of this shame? And then we're like, oh, motivated for change. I want to change because I don't want to feel the shame. And so our mind is constantly moving us towards pleasure and away from pain, but it's not until we feel the pain that we desire the change. Isn't that so messed up and so backwards and so the way it is? Let's take a nasty narcissistic relationship, for example. It gets so bad that you realize, hold up, wait a minute. This is an indication of the relationship that I have with myself. This external manifestation of this relationship externally is actually a match and a mirror of the internal relationship I have with myself. Whoa, I'm just as messed up. Okay, it's me. I'm the common denominator. What do I need to do to change? Because I don't want to feel this much shame. And I realize I feel shame about myself and things I've said and things I've done and things I've allowed in that relationship. And I actually want to live shame free. And then we were like, shame free is the way it be. And your mind's like, mm-hmm. Nice try. Good one. We'll see. And you're thinking, we'll see. I want to live a shame-free life. So I'm desiring, and I'm going to read the books, I'm going to watch the videos like this one, How to Live Shame-Free, that are going to give you the 5 top tips to live shame-free. There are no 5 top tips to help you live shame-free that are just going to work like that. Okay. Really, what it comes down to are the internal and unconscious beliefs you have about yourself that are deeply rooted in shame, that are allowing and energetically connected to the frequency of shame, the energy of shame, the heaviness of shame, the identity of shame. It comes down to the internal and unconscious beliefs that you have about yourself. And those are what we deeply desire to change. And that's what our deepest pain is rooted in. But it's not until those roots grow thick and deep and just seem to take up all the space in the soil where there's not much room for anything else to grow that we're like, I want to change. I want to plant flowers instead of weeds. And how do I do that? And we try to tug the weed out ourselves. We try and pull it out and rip it out, extract it out, get it out ourselves through external methods or conscious efforts. And we find maybe we get a little bit of it out, but there's still more there. And that still more there grows back. And the little bit that you never got, never left in the first place, but you want it to be gone because you want to live free from it. You want to live like you feel like you can breathe. Okay. It doesn't serve you to wait until shame piles up and feels so big and so heavy and so overwhelming and so consuming that you're like, I want to change. Ta-da! Today's going to be the day that I change my life. Whether it's shame about how I feel about my body, the partnerships, the relationships that I have, the way that I view myself, the way that I view the world, the way that I project my own pain onto other people that I feel guilty about, and then I feel shame for feeling guilty, and then I feel disappointed for feeling shame for feeling guilty. I'm a mess. And you want to get unmessed because you want to get out of the shame that you experience. So shame is actually an awful motivator for change. But in and of itself, if that's where you're at, that's okay. I've been there too. I get it. We've all been there. And to say that we haven't is to say that we're lying. So never trust anyone who says they haven't been there, but you really don't want to be there for any longer than you have been there or are currently have been currently there, if that's the way to say it. When you're ready to connect, when you're ready to really internally and unconsciously get to the core, get to the root of that shame so that you can create change and remove the shame, remove the beliefs about yourself that you've developed and you've experienced through the lens of that shame, then let's connect. That is the powerful transformational work that I do with my clients when working privately. I've got incredible courses and programs as well that I offer, and there's more information and details about all of those on my website. You can find them under courses, and you can find a way to book your consultation, to reserve a consultation to work privately with me as well, all in the same place. It's wonderful how that works. I'll also have a new podcast that just came out, The Change with Him, Real, Raw, Redeemed. I'm so excited. We just released episode 3. So if you haven't yet, go listen to that. That is my passion project. That is my heart and that is my soul. And for me personally, that is the missing key component to really having everything that you want in life. So The Change with Him, Real, Raw, Redeemed is what that is called. You can find it on Spotify. It's explicit. I'm real, I'm raw, I'm redeemed. And you get to experience all of that on there full free right now. It might be paid in the future. I'm not sure yet, but go take advantage of it now while it is available at no cost to you. Just music to your ears. Okay. I love you. I'll see you soon. And remember to visit sarahpicaro.com. Bye for now.